But I think that the players were more skilled prior to 16. Even though there weren't a lot of things going on, it took a lot more skill. Good evening, Rex.
Yeah.
How you doing, brother?
Did you just pull me in on a stream or something?
Yeah, you're on the stream right now. You're live stream. You're on with
great.
Code, and we're talking about Madden and the catch animations that were added and the effects that it has on the gameplay. You might be a guy that can actually give us some insight into it, though.
Oh, no.
You might be a guy that might know a little something about the 3 catch animations that were added into the game. Obviously, you know Code because you could have probably saw him around when you were at EA. He's been a game changer for a while. You have a certain determination with the way that the game is played because of the new catch animations. You being a developer prior, you don't see any difference before 16 as opposed to after with the way that the game plays with those animations?
Oh, I know there's a difference.
But what exactly is the new difference that changes it as opposed to what it was when there were no distinguishing ways and the receivers actually played according to their stats? Because that's the argument. If you give players these stats, they should be able to play according to their stats. But with the 3 catch animations, it makes it very, very inconsistent with what's supposed to happen. So do you think that it's affected the game? How do you think going forward we could actually get back to making the user control the outcomes to the plays?
Well, I pretty much said it in that tweet. If they were to move forward with a separate catching system for competitive play style that allows users to less stick into position and control of the timing of the catch with a button press instead of a button hold, you got a whole different game on your hands.
Oh yeah, I did see that tweet. Okay, so what you're saying, do you think that they should remove the 3 catching? Like say for instance, we got rid of the 3 catches and it went back to just what the players can actually do and they would trigger it according to you just...
I don't think it's a problem with the 3 catches. I don't think there's any problem with having more control over what type of catch you get for a situation. I think that mechanic's fine. And like the concept of a rack and aggressive and a possession makes perfect sense. But it can't be a button hold. It's got to be more user skill oriented than just a dice roll.
Okay, all right. So pretty much with the way that it's going on right now, do you even play Madden anymore? I gotta ask you that, Mr. Dickson. Do you even play it anymore?
Not this year.
Okay, so you haven't been able to experience the frustration that Code has been able to experience on a daily basis.
Oh, I watch streams.
Oh, okay.
I definitely watch people play.
But you've been around Madden like pretty much a large part of your career. You don't have the same love for it. Like, why wouldn't you play it?
It's kind of like imagine if you broke up with your girlfriend and then like a year later you're still staring at pictures of her. It's just lame. It's kind of how I feel about it.
So you're trying to
I was
get
still
over
playing Madden. That's what it'd be like.
Yeah, but you at one point didn't you truly love Madden?
Oh yeah, I still do. It's just still too fresh. The pain is still too fresh to go back to her.
All right, but what if she was offering you something that you knew you liked? You know, a backdoor action, things of that nature. Wouldn't you dabble? You wouldn't dabble with that?
I don't know. She hurt me pretty bad, dude.
All right. So, as far as the competitive,
you ever see Boomerang where Eddie Murphy gets played by Holly Berry? You remember that?
Absolutely.
Or no, he gets played by what's her name? Not Holly.
No,
Berry.
the one that Mike Tyson
Holly
used to
Berry
beat
was
up.
the nice one.
Yeah.
That one, Robin
Gibbons
or whatever her name is.
Yeah, Mike Tyson was beating her viciously.
Like that's like me in Madden. Like she just like took my heart and ripped it out my chest and spit on it and then like stomped on the floor and said, "I never want to see you again." And then told all her friends and her mama that I was emotionally abusive. Like that's kind of the situation between me and Madden right now.
So you really, at this point, with all the love that you had, that's amazing. So you're not just not playing it because you believe that it's utter trash. You just are out of love with it.
Yeah, it just hurts too much to play it. It just, it's not what I wanted it to be. It's not how I wanted to leave it. I mean, I think Clinton and the team are doing a fine job, in my opinion, but I might go back next year. Who knows? I still want an NCAA game, though.
Okay, so all right, that's a good point. Now, with the NCAA, I don't think that's going to happen, obviously, because they don't want to pay the athletes. Were you involved in any of the development with the NCAA games?
Yeah, 13 and 14.
I actually love both of those.
A guy named Jeff Lure was the creative director, but I was in charge of gameplay. We did all the option stuff in NCAA 14, like Oregon's offense that year.
Oh,
it's kind of
Yo, I had no idea,
Yeah.
bro. Like that, I actually love those two games. Hold up. So you were in charge of the actual gameplay when you were at EA with 16, 17, and some of 18. Did you do anything with the gameplay as the creative director?
Yeah.
So what the hell
Absolutely.
happened? What the hell happened, bro? What's going on with this? How was those games so good? And those games made me want to rip my sack off. How did you do that?
Wait, which game was good? No, you mean NCAA to Madden?
Yeah, like 13 and 14 was unbelievable. And then now you're saying you had things to do with the 16, 17, and some of 18. When bro, I actually almost lost a testicle in rage. So how did that happen?
We have a lot more creative freedom on NCAA than we do on Madden.
Oh, okay. So Code, do you have any questions for Rex as far as your rage with the way that mechanics are?
No.
So you're gonna give Rex a pass because he's broken up with Madden, and now you're gonna feel bad about it. You just raged at me about how bad the game is. Here's the guy right here that had something to do with the other years.
No,
and you're just gonna curl up. What's going on, bro?
No, my problem was with the abilities. That was my main gripe. That's what I was.
Rex, do you have? Were you in on the abilities being added to the MUT cards, or was that something that wasn't in your realm?
Oh, it was in my realm. I was definitely involved. It was, it came from a lot of the competitive guys like RG and Justin Chow and a bunch of guys like that are kind of the. I'll give them the credit for kind of the creative behind the chemistries, but yeah, that's that. I had oversight over that. I just wasn't the designer.
Do you think that the as far as Code is talking about with the game, do you think that helps Madden giving cards abilities, or do you think that the card should just be able to do it based on their natural stats with their cards?
You know, ever since I've started working in mobile and understanding kind of how that free-to-play monetization market design is supposed to work, I understand everything the MUT team is doing. Everything from training points to chemistry abilities. They want to find new and interesting ways to extend the life cycle of the game all the way through the year. I understand the need for it. I don't necessarily love what it does for gameplay, but if you think about it, if you start the year on regs, there's only so much ceiling. You know, you can only go to like 99 maxed out so many times, and they have to look for some interesting ways of spreading it out.
Okay, so
it's a hard problem.
Go ahead.
Oh, that was it.
Okay, yeah. So as far as the way that it goes, like Code brings up a good point. You probably didn't play Madden this year, but they gave us an ability with one of the chems to add sprinter to make cards seem like they're faster, but in reality they're not fast at all. And a lot of people have been complaining about it because it's obvious that the cards are not doing what they're supposed to do. Is there something mechanically wrong or something that can be fixed to make the cards play like with the upgrades, or was that something that developmentally they haven't really, concretely got that point to yet? Because they don't run as fast as they are when they're blue chemmed up. So why would they allow that at launch to make the players +3 speed points faster if in all reality they don't move faster?
I don't know. Maybe they've attached it to the acceleration burst mechanic. I don't know because I haven't really played with the abilities this year.
Okay, so
couldn't say.
So with that, okay, so wait a minute. Based on what you're saying, not only did Madden do you dirty, it doesn't seem like your relationships with the friends that you're saying are really. I love me some RG. I don't know. People have been giving Clint a lot of flack, and you were once in that position. Do you think that the way that the community has reacted towards it is warranted for what we've been experiencing with the gameplay aspect? Is it his fault? Is pretty much what I'm outright saying.
Is it Clint's fault?
Yes.
No.
Okay, so
don't forget. I mean, Clint. He had. I mean, they had me over the top of all of it up until now. He got thrust into a very senior, hard role, and the guy who kind of like hired him and worked with him, mentored him, was gone. And, one of the top gameplay engineers left the same cycle. He's in a tough position. But you don't know what his resource allocation is. You don't know how many engineers they're devoting to, like, whatever the next long shot is or something like that. It's like, so you judge him, but you don't know what's going on behind the scenes.
Yeah. Well, with me, I'm not like a Twitter animal. I'm not doing any of that stuff. I'm just saying, I just wanted somebody to address that because for me, I don't blame anyone except for the people that are actually doing the engineering. Like, you can oversee it, but I don't know if the engineers are, if they have natural common sense or what's going on with them. But I respect the fact that, the way that you guys have tried to add things into the game, some of it works. Like, for instance, target passing. That was an absolute joke. I don't know who was doing it, why it was happening, but the only thing that it was good for was getting a glitch for a touchdown and Hail Mary. That was pretty much the only thing that it was good for in 18. So when you add things into the game, whose fault is it? Who should the people go and say, what's going on with this? Who should the community go to when those things happen?
Well, target passing's on me. I let that one go.
Okay.
I thought, we were building a competitive feature, and I lean on some of the more competitive players in the building to tell me if something's going to work or not. And then, we make a determination based on what we're hearing whether we should go. And in that case, we should have held it back. But that one's on me.
All right. So when you say competitive players, do you agree that as far as like the problem right error, those were real competitive players as opposed to everything now? So you probably shouldn't be taking advice from these guys? Or do you think that they really have skill at the game?
I don't know what you mean by new guys, because the same people that I see winning are the the people, guys like that are.
Let me clarify the statement. After 16, prior to that, we had T-Raw. He was a really good player. We had the other dude, I forgot, Rose Bowl. We had BZ. We had other competitive players that were really skilled that stepped away from the game because it has become absolutely horrific, like a horror movie. When you look at that aspect of it, the advice that you're getting, I'm pretty sure that Problem Right wouldn't want all user control removed, because when he was winning, that's primarily what he used. So those things started to happen, and then now those same players have been repeating. If you notice it, a lot of the newer faces that we're seeing, they were playing at those times, but never got this kind of recognition. So something happened to change the game, because I haven't seen Problem win in this new era, and I don't think that he just lost all of his knowledge of Madden. I don't think he just has amnesia. I think the game absolutely has been a disgusting and horrific experience. So when you take advice from the newer players, you don't think that maybe, guys like Problem and the old school guys, Gene, those guys should have more of an influence? Because it sounds like the people that you're getting the advice from are more of the newer generation of players that are playing the game as opposed to the old school. If that makes any sense.
That's not entirely true. The piece you're missing there is there's top-down pressure to make the game more accessible and less complicated. They want more people to feel like they have a chance to compete at a high level. It's kind of the way that you mass marketify your investment in esports. Like, how are we going to make our money back on this? Well, you get the largest majority of people interested, and they're worried that if the game only appeals to the top 1%, then it's not going to be successful in converting as an esport.
Oh, okay. But like, in your personal opinion, you stepped away from it. When you gauge some of the greatest players in Madden, and you look at the players now that are winning, do you think that if the game did not change, that these same players would be there?
I don't know. It's also like, people get older.
Okay.
People move on with their lives. They get married. They have babies. They have less time to devote to it. In Problem's case, he's good enough streamer now where he can kind of stream what he enjoys playing versus being forced to stream Madden.
Okay,
Damn it, you just got me killed in Fortnite.
Listen, don't worry about it, bro. We're gonna do a whole Fortnite thing with you, Code, and I very, very soon, because you guys all suck, but I think I can make you guys better. So you don't got to worry about that. The bottom line is, it was perfect when you sent the actual invite. But so you're actively in Fortnite right now?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So you actually Well, like I said, for now, I'm gonna finish up with Code, and then if you're available once we're done with the interview, I love that you got on and you gave your piece, though, because I think people need to understand that they shouldn't go crazy on Clint. In my opinion, I think that he doesn't have the power to fix things that are obvious because people don't want him to fix it. That's just my personal opinion. I also think that the way that the game is now is by design. Like, some of the things you hinted at to make it easier for other players, which answers a lot of the questions that the masses have. So you've actually validated some of the things that I thought, but in no way ever will I ever promote the harassment of any of you guys with what you guys do, because I know I've played NCAA 13 and 14, and those were by far some of the best games that I've ever played. So if you were a part of that, all apologies for all the savage action that you were doing in 16, 17, and 18. But I will.
We had a
upon
lot
meeting
more
you, bend you
freedom
over
on
and
it.
do your
Yeah,
dry.
I'll tell you that.
No, I'm just trying. I'm trying to tell you, bro, Rex. When I see you, bro, you will be bent over. I will do you dry, but theoretically, not realistically.
Whoa.
Only theoretically. Only
Okay.
theoretically. But I love you, bro, and
Sounds
I
good.
thank you for always being around there and not being a fake individual. And after everything changed up, you changed up. You've always been a real individual, and I appreciate that with you. So, thank you for your time, bro.
Are you playing Madden right now?
Say it again.
You playing Madden?
Yeah, I was playing Madden. I was streaming Madden actively. I was actively in a interview with Code for him to let his rage out about how bad the game is, and then what do you know? The devil pops up. You.
Well, you bumped Code for me? That's fucked up, dude.
No, Code is still in the chat. He's right there. He's just scared to
Yeah,
talk.
but you like bumped him out of his place in the interview line, man.
No,
That's not right.
listen.
Oh, I
bro,
was done.
he-
I was done ranting about
You were done?
abilities and other shit.
Yeah, he was just raging about abilities, but it was good because you actually were part of the things that he was raging about at one point. So it's actually beautiful. You see what I'm saying, bro? So now you made our day so much better because you clarified a lot of the things that frustrate us and make us so angry that we want to go to Antarctica and kick baby penguins. So that was really, really good, bro.
Don't
Rex,
kick baby penguins.
Rex, at the end of the day, bro, like I said, you have been always a real person, bro. I can't say that about a lot of people. So I appreciate you, but I will be on with you in Fortnite. And if your son is ready, probably a little bit later, we could get that on.
All right.
All right, bro?
Yeah, we'll be on.
All right, I'll see you.
All right.